Morning, boys.
Nick, first of all, Franklin, tell us his strengths, because I spoke to him and interviewed him here in this very studio, and he was a lovely guy, maybe too nice, but no doubt about it, he's explosive, but he looks small compared to the likes of Fury and the likes of Anthony.
Yeah, he's a throwback heavyweight. You know, he's only 6'2", which is in the current climate when everyone's 6'6", 6'8". It's a massive disadvantage, of course. Even Alexander Usyk, who's moved up from cruiserweight, is 6'4". So he is definitely a smaller heavyweight, obviously a lot more heavy set. But of course, if you're Jermaine Franklin, you've got the ultimate inspiration, and that's you've got a very similar body type to Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz, of course, that knocked out AJ over in Madison Square Garden on his American debut. Similar to Ruiz as well, he's got fast hands for a little guy. You know, he really has got fast hand speed. He's got good shot selection as well. And from what we've seen previously, he can take a shot. What he hasn't got that Ruiz does have as well is footwork. His footwork is very sluggish. He's got very heavy feet. He often gets pinned against the ropes, and he gets too comfortable against the ropes. And I think against a power puncher like AJ, that means he's going to get in serious trouble very early in the fight.
Nick, what does he change, AJ, from the last fights? And has he learned from mistakes he's made? Because at times you want to go to see when he was just starting out his career, when he was a little more explosive and not outbox people. He's got to go out and really be forceful in the early rounds, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest with you, Ray, you know, we don't know. That's what makes this fight so intriguing. That's why everyone's really kind of engaged with it now. You know, let's be honest, Franklin as an opponent, not even recognised by any of the government bodies and any of their top 15 rankings. He's got no business being in the ring with Anthony Joshua, but we don't know what version of Anthony Joshua is. Last time we seen him, he had as Alan's just described, he had a very public breakdown in the ring after he lost for the second time against Usyk. This is his third head coach in 3 consecutive fights. He's been based over in America, over in Dallas, putting this training camp together. So we've seen nothing of him. Now, what we have seen is the last 2 or 3 days he's been doing media. He's saying all the right things. He's happy. Number one, he's happy because, let's be honest, over the last 12 consecutive world title fights which he's had, when was the last time you seen AJ truly walk to the ring with a smile on his face, like someone that wants to be there? Tyson Fury looks like he's in his element every time he's in a fight. Alexander Usyk, every time he walks to the ring, stands in the corner before the fight, he looks like he's in the most relaxed man in the room, whereas AJ has looked all over the place. I think in this fight on Saturday night, I just want to see AJ walk to that ring with a smile on his face, have that sense of security about him to go, you know what, I've ticked every box in training camp. This guy's got no business being in the ring with me. And guess what, guys? Every time I've fought at the O2 previously, no one's got out to 6-7 rounds. This guy ain't doing the same.
Nick, I don't know if you... I was a little bit... not alarmed, that's too strong a word, but when Eddie was talking about, we don't know which AJ is going to turn, we don't know what the chin's like, we don't know what he's physical, and I'm like, whoa, it's almost as, maybe it's just because he's not seen enough of him over in Dallas, but he was, me, and if I was listening and I was AJ, I'd be, he's almost putting a bit of doubt in his mind.
Well, what he's doing is being a sensational promoter, though, isn't he, as well, Alan? Because he's creating that intrigue of people going, well, wait a minute. If I tune in to watch AJ, what you're telling me is AJ might get beat. AJ needs the support. Yeah. We just don't know what state. If he just said, this guy, it spoke the truth. This guy's got no business being a ring. AJ's going to get him out in 6 rounds. People would go, well, you know what? I'll watch the replay on YouTube later in the day or whatever. So he's creating that intrigue. I understand it. But there is an element of truth in it as well. Because, yes, he's working with Derek James. Yes, he's a fantastic coach. But he's had fantastic coach previously, and it hasn't worked. Yeah. There's no guarantee that if this fight starts, and Jermaine, don't forget, listen, Jermaine Franklin was working in a factory a year ago. His life could change dramatically tomorrow night. All he's got to do is beat AJ, and he becomes a legit world title contender. He becomes a multi-millionaire. He never has to work in a factory again. Changes the lives of his entire family, I'm sure. So he turns up like it's his Champions League final. It's his undisputed world title fight tomorrow. For AJ, it's a stepping stone back, and that's always going to be dangerous, because for all we know, Jermaine Franklin might turn up like a man possessed. And AJ, in his heart of hearts, he may well be a little bit too comfortable on those silk sheets. We just don't know.
I can't wait. Nick, thank you.
Thanks,
Nick Peet, Fight Disciples podcaster there.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.